to the person that is under some fire right now. It's under a lot of fire. I've seen this kid at my favorite school, Duke University, and when he was a freshman, everybody was talking about him, and he was this talented guy, 6'8", can handle the ball, smooth game. You know, things didn't really faze him because he didn't really show that much emotion. Kind of like Brandon Ingram a little bit, but a little bit more polished, right?
Yep.
And what I saw out of the kid was what everybody else saw. I saw that. But I also saw something else that I didn't like. I saw the passive side of him, where there could be a few plays in the game and he's not there. He's very non-existent. He won't show up. He can disappear in the game and you won't realize that he's there. That's a problem for me. Yep. Now, people always say that, oh, you're young, you can be able to figure some things out. There's some things that you can figure out with age as you get better and you practice, but there's some things that you can't correct. Jayson Tatum is who I'm speaking about, and there's certain things about him I don't think that we're going to be able to see get better or, fix itself. This is who he is, a guy that is very talented. He can score 60 points in the game in 3 quarters. He can be able to give you 40 without you even blinking. But he also has the tendency of disappearing. He also has the tendency of having turnovers, and a lot of them. He also has the tendency of not looking like a number one. That's things that you cannot teach. For years, we were told that Ben Simmons was somebody who would be able to grow into being a number one star. He has LeBron James talent. Too, yeah. He's going to be able to get there soon. 6 years in, are we still thinking that? Are we still thinking that about Ben Simmons? No.
Definitely not.
So we need to start thinking about that with Jayson Tatum. I'm going to give you guys an interesting stat that was very alarming to me. Jayson Tatum is the first player in NBA history in the playoffs to have over 100 turnovers in a single postseason. We're talking about how many players have played in the playoffs. We're talking about when they had the laces on the basketball, right? And everybody used to walk to the basket and put it in. Not even those guys had as much turnovers as Jayson Tatum had.
100, over 100 is crazy.
How? And then that wasn't even the most alarming part to me. It was one of them. But the most concerning part to me is the interview that he had and said, you guys labeled me a superstar. I didn't.
Oh, I didn't even see that. That's
crazy.
The
problem.
Wow. That's crazy.
Is that if the media is trying to put you somewhere where the media does that, they like to create new stars. They like to create new, superstars, the next Jordan, the next Kobe, whoever it is.
Yeah, right.
He's a Kobe fanatic. He loves Kobe. He grew up idolizing the man. But he doesn't look at himself as a superstar. That's a concern.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
If he doesn't look at himself as a superstar, then he's not.
Correct.
He's just not.
So the media should stop doing it, right?
I mean, but most of the media has kind of gone back on that, though, right? Like a lot of people are saying, like, is Tatum
because of his performance?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Is I feel like now they're kind of redacting a little.
If he would have performed like a superstar, they still lose, but he doesn't look at himself as a superstar. Shouldn't you just take him at face value? If somebody's telling you who they are, believe them, right? Yeah. They always say that. Like, if you meet somebody, you're in a relationship, like, oh, this guy is so great. And, there's so many things that he does well. But, there's some red flags. Believe those red flags because maybe that's exactly who they are.
I mean, keep this in mind, though, too, Barry. He's still a baby. He's only 24 years old. Like, he's young.
I just made the comparison of Ben Simmons. They said the same thing about Ben Simmons for a long time. We're going to give him time to figure it out. But at what point, where's the cutoff?
Yeah.
When he's 30?
But Ben Simmons...
When he's 28? When's the cutoff?
I get it. But Ben Simmons and Jayson Tatum, I think, are a little different. Only because,
are they?
Well, because Ben Simmons has one, catastrophic problem. Okay. Right? Ben Simmons' problem is that he can't shoot and won't shoot.
But that's actually
right?
not
like,
his number one problem, though, Mike. I disagree.
Okay.
His number one problem is the fact that he doesn't have a big motor as a player. He doesn't see himself as somebody that has the ability to take over a basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jayson Tatum looks the part.
He
looks the part. He's a Ferrari. When you look at him, oh man, that Ferrari looks great.
But
it has a Prius engine in there, right? It has a 86 Honda Civic engine, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not a Ferrari. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that he doesn't look at himself like that, but everybody else does.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how he kind of handled pressure a little bit. But I think this is something that like just as far as the series is concerned, right? Like I feel like this doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, don't you think? Like you look at the Warriors, and it's Steph, it's Clay, it's like they're loaded. It's Wiggins.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston was kind of like coming out of nowhere a little bit.
Right.
I mean, it's Tatum and Jalen and Marcus Smart. Like they're double teaming Tatum every possession.
Not true. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
I mean, there's a lot that's not his fault, but there's also how he views himself and the pressure that people put on him a little too early. You know, it's just
he
like
crumbled.
It's like believe who he is and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Don't give him more expectation than he gives himself.
Yeah.
Honestly.